Hey guys, it's Josiah here, back again with another video. Now in this video we're going to be going through why you can't book meetings from LinkedIn. And this is just common mistakes I've been seeing people doing when trying to scale LinkedIn to book more appointments and to scale. Now if you don't know who I am, my name is Josiah, other people call me Jozy, and I've scaled my own marketing agency to multi-six figures in just under 90 days. Now I'm helping other marketing agency owners do the same, but helping them implement leverage systems so they can get themselves out of day, book appointments, and actually scale. Now we've worked over 200 plus agencies in over 50 plus niches in both American and European markets. Have clients like Craig go from literally 0 to 30K per month in just under 30 days. Have clients like Nana go from 0 to 20K per month in just under 4 months. Use the exact same systems, right? Now for ourselves, we book over 341 calls, and 80% of that come from LinkedIn. The rest comes from email. And so I know how to scale this like the back of my hand, right? So here are just a few mistakes that I've just gone through when I've helped other people scale, and this is mainly the main reasons why people are not scaling themselves, right? So the first reason, if not is the most crucial reason, is that you haven't found proof of concept from your outreach, right? It means that the first part is to get you from 0 to 1, right? Booking your first appointments and understanding the actual fundamentals, such as how to find quality leads, how to get an acceptance rate of 20+%, how to generate interest so you can book, so you can get 10% positive reply rate, how to have conversation, handle DM objections so you can book 2% of all the leads that you speak to, right? And how to track your data. So you need to actually have found proof of concept where you know that every 50 DMs equals one booking, or every 1 DM equal, or every 20 DMs equals one booking. And getting a system like this is literally the key, the first key to start scaling, because it's hard for us to scale something from 0 to 10 without first getting to 1. Like the first step is always going to be the hardest from any single system. And a lot of people try to start doing a lot of volume without getting the foundation right, because if you don't get this right, it doesn't matter how much volume you put to the system, it doesn't matter how much automation that you do, you're not going to be able to book appointments. It's literally going to be impossible for you to book appointments if you don't have some form of proof of concept before going to the next level, right? And a lot of people skip this because they're trying to literally rush the greatness, or rush the process. But literally the more you have this dialed in, and the more you actually have a true, let's say, appointment booking system, even though it may be a bit manual, the longer it's going to start and the better results you're going to have once you start scaling it. Because usually when you start scaling it, the effectiveness goes down. It's usually like as you start scaling, your return on investment goes down. But because you put in so much volume, it kind of balances it out, right? So you need to find proof of concept. You need to have data. I always advise my clients to book their first 5 appointments before starting to go manual, or to remove themselves, or sorry, to go automated, or to remove themselves, right? And like I said, step 1 is the hardest step, as you don't know what sticks, and that's why most people are stuck and can't get it out of it to scale. So here, the main thing you have to really understand is how to find leads, how to create a compelling message to get people to respond to you, and how to convert that response into meetings booked. Now, this whole video is of me going through this, but this is literally the first step that you're gonna have to do before you start scaling, right? Okay, so now you've found something that has worked. You've done this, you've gone through the process, you've tested some scripts, people starting to respond, people starting to book meetings with you, you're tracking your data effectively, you know exactly what like the inputs are to get an appointment. Then the next thing is that you're doing everything manual yourself, right? So you're doing everything manual yourself. You start from lead sourcing to follow-ups, which is now causing too much time, and it's getting harder to track and to efficiently convert prospect. This is making you feel inconsistent. You hate outreach. You lose prospects who are in the pipeline. The key here is, after you start doing everything yourself, is to start automating certain parts, right? So you want to automate your lead sourcing, right? You want to automate how you send out DMs, the first DMs, and you want to automate kind of basically everything aside the second touch point. So the first touch point, we always recommend automating like the connection requests, the first email messages, the lead sourcing. You can automate the entire thing, so that can actually bring some time back into your life, right? So outreach is going to be consistent. It's not going to rely on you. All you have to do is once a week is put the leads in, so then the leads can convert, but you're actually removed from the first part of the outreach. This is actually adding more leverage to yourself, so then you can focus on one thing, which is having DM conversations, right? And actually converting people in the DMs, because everything else, like the DM, the first message, the lead sourcing, all of that is like low leverage tasks that automation can do for you right now. What we still need humans to do is actually have that conversation over text and convert that prospect into meeting booked. But everything else except the DM conversation should be automated, right? In my opinion. because the software is advanced enough for us to do this. And yeah, so now once you've gone through this, you can go and get things like HeyReach, right, to automate everything. And then once it's automated, then you can then go to the next account. So all you're doing right now is everything is automated. You're just having DM conversations and then booking people in. Okay. Now the next thing is you actually, in terms of this, let me just put it here. Is you not having enough accounts. So most people, once they start outreach, they may have 1 to 2 accounts to do outreach and wonder why they can only book 15 appointments a month, right? No, you after you've automated the one account, right, it gives you time to add an extra 2 or 3 or 4 accounts, because now you have one account automated. You have more leverage, right? You can go and then start outsourcing or start sourcing more accounts. So I will start off by going to friends and families, right? Going around people, asking if they don't have a spare LinkedIn account or do they use LinkedIn, right? And see if they can do me a favor. Because what I'm trying to do is build up the volume so then I can start scaling, start booking more appointments. Because for example, if one account books you 15 appointments per month, right? You know what you need to do to go to the 50 appointments. You need like 3 or 4 accounts, right? To get to that point where you're booking 50 appointments per month. But you know, with 50 appointments per month, you close, let's say 5 of them, and boom, that's 5 clients per month. Each client paying you 5K per month, that's 25K per month, right? So that is actually high leverage activity for you to scale what you're currently doing so you can book more appointments, right? And the main thing about this, because one account is very limited, LinkedIn only allows you to do a limited amount of action. So it's 35 connection requests per day, 40 emails per day, right? So these are open profile emails, which is not for us to scale. So that's why we want 5 to 7 accounts, right? So we can book 50 to 100 plus calls consistently. Now you can do this by asking friends, family, or actually getting providers as well, right? Just to iterate on that point. And this is where I see a lot of people going to like a lot of people are still doing things themselves, but once they get automation, they just stop there and they're like, oh, LinkedIn is slow. When in reality, they just haven't scaled up their current system. So we really want to get to like 5 to 7 accounts each and every single like month. We're at right now up to 30 accounts. I want to get to 50. So if you have a LinkedIn account you don't use, let me know, right? So we're going to get up to 50 at the moment, and on that 50s we can start scaling things up. Okay. Now the next thing is you're the only person doing everything, right? Now this again is once you've got loads of accounts and you're consistently doing outreach, there's going to be so many bloody appointments that you have so many bloody conversations that you have to take care of, manage, follow up. It's going to start being a lot at that point, right? Especially if you've got other things going on. For example, you're a business owner, right? You're taking care of sales, you're taking care of delivery, taking care of operations, right? And you're taking extra 20 calls a week because you're booking that many appointments, right? Which means you'd be too burnt out to do all the outreach follow-ups and the conversation effectively. This can also cause inconsistency in peaks and troughs. So let's say one week you have loads of sales calls, you're not following up on time. Next week you have low, you start following up, then you have high. Right? You have that ups and down that you really want to limit, right? So this is precisely what your business doesn't need. Your business doesn't need that inconsistency, that peaks and troughs, okay? And you don't want to make 10K one week and then make 2K for the next 2 weeks. So here is key to hire an appointment setter, right? Now this appointment setter is actually going to be being paid less than the actual market rate. Now the reason why we do this, right? The reason why we pay them less is because we've automated the entire thing, because an average appointment setter that does outbound, we need to find their own leads, we need to outreach to their own leads, we need to create their own follow-up scripts. They're going to have to do so much legwork that we've done beforehand before they even come into the company. So they're coming into the company, they're literally handling inbound conversations. Now, if you're telling an appointment setter that you're only going to be handling inbound conversations, like, it's crazy. And only in the DMs, right? Like anyone would take that job like any day of the week, right? Any day of the week. Okay. So this is why we're going to hire an appointment setter, and we can pay them any as little as $10 to $15 per hour, all the way to $300 to $500 per hour. And this could be a VA, right, from the Philippines, right, for the full-time role. And one appointment setter, once you start stacking up accounts, can handle up to 15 accounts, all automated, right? The reason why is because we're using leverage. We're using leverage. Yes, the software expense may be a bit higher getting to that point, but we're keeping the team so lean that like one appointment setter can book you 150 calls. Right, last month I put a top appointment setter like 144 calls, and one appointment setter can definitely book you 150 calls with the right stack, right? With the right stack of accounts, with the right stack of automation, and with the right stack of scripts, because everything else is automated, right? And that's how you really start scaling things up, because at that point you have one person taking care of 15 accounts, and it's like they're working every single day, they're booking you 5 to 10 calls a day, right? And you're keeping the team low, expenses low, because hiring a full-time SDR would have cost you like $3,000 a month, right? And profit high. Also removing yourself from the outrage. And now this whole process really can be done in like 90 days. Like we've done this with Craig, and Craig done in 30 days, right? But let's say Craig, not everyone's like Craig. You can do the whole process of from finding proof of contact to manually doing things yourself to getting enough accounts to be not having being the only person that does it in as little as 90 days to actually scale your agency. And that's why so many people are starting to take advantage of this and actually start scaling the agency, especially B2B, to multi 6 figures, right? And if this is something that you're interested in, please book a call right now, because I know that if you do with us, you're going to be able to get there instantly fast. Especially if you're a hard worker, you're going to be able to scale this simply, really fast, right? But that's all it for the video. Now, if you like, subscribe, please like, subscribe, share, do the things that you need to do for the YouTube algorithm. And yeah, that's all it from this video, and bye bye.